as number 3 citizen of Nigeria, he did not set a good example. He ought to have insisted, he ought to have given him to proving his innocence rather than raising issues of technicalities. That was disappointing. And now that the Supreme Court has said, go and face your trial, he really has no choice. He has no discretion but to face the trial. My only challenge to the APC government is that the scale with which they are weighing, measuring the Senate President Bukola Saraki should be used to measure all former public officers, all current public officers, because according to the Code of Conduct, a public officer ought not to live above his or her legitimate means. Anybody in Nigeria knows today that an average politician in public office lives above his or her legitimate means. They ought to be subjected to the same trial. They ought to be charged and let them come and prove their innocence. Concentrating on only Bukola Saraki means that it is a fight against corruption in a discriminatory manner. And when you fight against corruption in a discriminatory manner, that is corruption in itself. That is my challenge. Why is it difficult for them to create more divisions of the CCT? Why do we have only one division of the CCT? We have several, thousands of public officers, tens of thousands of public officers who perhaps Nigerians are suspecting they are living above their means. And once there is the suspicion that you live above your means, they ought to be charged. The CCT ought to be multiplied in every state, in every local government, so that all former and current public officers are charged and they are given the opportunity to prove their innocence. Until that is done, I cannot see the fight against corruption. I cannot clap for Buhari. I cannot clap for the APC. I'm challenging them to intensify that fight by setting up more Code of Conduct Tribunals where all former and current public officers can prove their innocence, that they are not living above their legitimate earnings.